Okay, so this is Miss Rossi. She's no longer suffering or in pain. Yeah, she's in a better place now. She was too good for this world. Okay, thanks, Aunt Sandy. Yeah, not super helpful there. I haven't cried since she died, not once. How is Anna crying and not me? I'm the one who lost a parent. Everyone deals with this differently. Quiet sobs. Where's Maria? She couldn't be here. She didn't want to see her mother's body. I mean, I don't blame her. Anyway, I'm pretty impressed with the food. Did you try the amaretti? It doesn't look like her at all. Yeah, just the whole complication with the person's will and then the family stating otherwise. That's what my issue was with the last funeral. Not knowing exactly what to do with that. I'm glad I could choose not to do that. From Chad Grant to Rose and Daughters Graphs. We're pleased to bring on Rose and Daughters as part of Hillside Heritage Enterprises. There'll be another institution among hundreds of other properties owned across the country. But of course, as part of the adjustment process to Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. culture, there will be a number of changes that will come to Rose and Daughters. We will send out the memo regarding the specifics and details of these changes, and we expect them to be followed impeccably. Glad to be leading the way for Rose and Daughters from now on. Chad Grant. Huh, okay. From Matthew Jeffrey, what the hell? Can I just say first off that this is bullcrap? Knowing that these corporations run, I wouldn't be surprised if they're monitoring our emails now. No, okay, I really don't believe that. I'm just upset. Good that Amy didn't have much of a choice. You can only fight a huge corporation taking all of your business for so long. This isn't 6 feet under. And they just swooped in and now we have to deal with their BS practices. They're colder than a corpse I picked up from the morgue this morning. Who charges this much for funerals? It feels dirty and exploitive. Let's grab a drink after work. I need to blow off some steam, and these emails aren't really the most appropriate place to do this. Too late for me, I guess. If you're reading this Hillside Overlord, good. Charlotte, below the... Okay, she and he's not even referring to us as Charlie. Below are the details for your next client. Ensure you follow the requested specifications exactly. After you're done, I will review your work in order to properly evaluate you at the end of the month. Cremation. From Leah Lonesco. Thank you, Mr. Grant, for agreeing to take care of Jocelyn's cremation. The bike accident was, well, it was more than I was expecting. I know she wanted to be cremated, and to be honest, I don't think I could bear seeing her like that after what happened. Thank you. No. I already don't like him. Can't really write much right now. I have a lot of work to do with an inguinal hernia from 1750. It's the oldest in our collection, and you can even see this bit of paper the surgeon put in after removing the hernia. Super cool. I'll send you the link when I have it cataloged. What is my life? What is that sentence I just typed? But anyway, this event that I'm forwarding you is taking place near you. Figured you'd be into it. Might help with that feeling of restlessness you were talking about before. Could be good to talk about some of the things you're feeling. Lots of death-positive people here. Sounds like it's a safe space. You're invited to attend Death Cafe. Come, increase awareness of death with a view to helping people make the most of their finite lives. Join us. Have a tea and cake and talk with others about our thoughts, fears, and illuminations on death. The founder of the Death Cafe movement, John Underwood, once said, when people talk about death and dying, it tends to illustrate their humanity. See everyone at the Upside Down Jar next Thursday. Death Cafe. And funerals monthly. Funeral rites, even in our own culture, may be something many of us may be unfamiliar with. For many people, all they know of funeral traditions are what they've seen in media. But, and I think this goes without saying, funeral rites and traditions aren't the same across the board. Different cultures have different protocols for cleaning the body to different aspects of the service itself. Religion provides different paths for dealing with death, but the goal is almost always the same, offering support, guidance, and ease to the people who are grieving. In Judaism, internment usually begins immediately after somebody has passed. Up until the burial, the body is never supposed to be alone, so often families will appoint a shomer, a guardian, to remain with the body. Preparations for burial begin as soon as possible in Muslim traditions as well. Local Islamic community organizations are also involved and help the family make arrangements for the funeral services and burial. But not all practices are strictly religiously focused. In the aughts in South Korea, the amount of graveyard space began to shrink drastically, causing a law to be passed that required families to remove a loved one's body from its burial place after 60 years. Many families began to cremate more often, but there are also companies that compress remains into beads in turquoise, pink, or black, called death beads. This also occurs in North America, Europe, and Japan, but remains much more common in South Korea because of the space issue in graveyards and the expenses of cremation. And all practices are somber either. Ever hear of the turning of the bones, or Famadahana? A ritual by the Malagasy people of Madagascar. Famadahana has families return to an ancestral crypt, exhume the bodies wrapped in cloth before dancing with the bodies to lively music. This practice is a celebration, remembrance, and a way of keeping the deceased involved in family news. Death can be a difficult time for many people, obviously, but that doesn't mean there isn't a beauty in the ways we chose to honor and celebrate our deceased. Alright, Hillside Heritage. Rose and Daughters is the newest funeral home to join Hillside Heritage, proudly serving 56 different communities nationwide since 1964. Rose and Daughters features several available packages for burials and cremations, a spacious visitation suite for added comfort, and catering available on site. Rely on our dedicated and friendly staff to help you with your funeral needs. Whether you need our immediate assistance for a loved one or would like to pre-plan your final arrangements. We offer many packages fitted to suit every size of gathering and budget. Ask us about our selection of caskets, urns, and headstones in the largest of the country. Bronze funeral packets, an intimate gathering and memorial for your loved one. Customized to fit your individual needs, best suited for groups of 25 to 50. Silver package, a small but special celebration for your loved one, best suited for groups of 50 to 100. That's small. That's huge. Gold packets. Give your loved one the best with the best we have to offer. A large gathering to celebrate your loved one. Best suited for groups over 100. Subject to additional fees and taxes. Payment plans available. And call or quote. Well, okay. So this is a cremation. Okay. So there was some sort of accident with this one. Okay. Let's get started. Prepare Miss Linesco's body for cremation. Remove her watch and place it on the tray. There's nothing else. Place the round identification tag in the coffin. I guess the clothes are okay. Okay. Break these. Alright, yeah. This looks different now. Okay. Should we do a vigil at the spot? Careless drivers, I swear to God. Who are you? I'm glad we're here, but wow, I just need a glass of wine and binge-watch something right now. I have to go through all of her things. How am I supposed to decide what to keep? If you need help, I can help. No, thanks, I mean no, I don't know, it's so intimate. Feels like I should do it myself. She would kill me if others saw the things we have. Yeah, she was kind of a closed book, except to you. Yeah, she was special. Just walk right through these people. So glad it was a cremation. I would have lost it seeing her body. She was always so careful. Wore her helmet, signaled, used the bike lanes. Asshole drivers, they need to pay attention. Have you heard what's happening to the driver? No, I haven't. I haven't wanted to ask Leah. This has been hard going on them without asking about legal ramifications of all this. Yeah, after all this, let's see what we can do to help them. Shouldn't deal with the death of their partner all by themselves. Okay, hopefully that was good enough for my new employer. March 24th. Well, I'm still here, I assume. I still appear to be working here, so... From Matthew to Charlie. Charlie, I need a drink. Beer after work? P.S. I also really want mozzarella sticks. I can be both hungry and angry, and no, I will not say hangry, ever. Rules and Code of Conduct. As stated in the previous email, here are the new rules and Code of Conduct I expect you to follow from now on while on any premises belonging to Hillside Heritage. First and foremost, there is a required uniform and strict dress code from now on. Second, most importantly to this is no tattoos are to be visible. If you have visible tattoos, ensure they are properly covered and hidden. When speaking with customers and clients, consider the opportunity to upsell. Always encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase the higher quality package. We find that encouraging loved ones to think of comfort and style of the deceased as an experience with no price limit on it. Additionally, food is no longer allowed to be brought in. Instead, encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase our premium sandwich and appetizer food package. Our partner Catering Concepts provides high-quality food that will be delivered weekly from their factory and can easily be defrosted in the morning of the funeral. I expect all the above changes to be instituted effective immediately to ensure a smooth transition into the high-quality services Hillside Heritage Enterprise is known for. It can be upsetting to not bring their own food, especially if it's of a particular cultural benefit, you know. Green Burial Policy. I reviewed your request on behalf of a potential family inquiring if we at Hillside Heritage Enterprises can and will perform green burials. I should have informed you this at the beginning, but we do not perform green funerals as they are not cost effective. All employees and subsidiaries of Hillside Heritage Incorporated must comply. We do not wish to lose potential customers, though, so do try your hardest to convince the families requesting green burials to instead choose a traditional burial package, complete with embalming caskets and vaults instead. I trust you will ensure we do not lose any customers, Charlotte. That's almost threatening. Latest contract acquisition, the city. I am proud to announce that the Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporated received a contract with the city to dispose of any unclaimed bodies. This is an important revenue stream for us, as I'm sure I don't need to explain to you, Charlotte. Although Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporated, why does he spell it all out like that? Is being paid a decent wage from the city for these services, cremation is preferred here as it is the most cost-effective of the two options. The first unclaimed body we will be handling belongs to a middle-aged man, possibly homeless, whose body has yet to be claimed. No special preparations are needed for this cadaver aside from cremation. Okay. Genlove. I just saw a video of a gorilla walking on its hind legs. Like a human being, Charlie. A human being! We as a species have seen the beginning of our end. Home funerals. Why do it? The appeal of a home funeral is apparent for many, especially if the deceased was somebody very close to you. The idea of keeping them at home until they are ready to be buried or cremated can be comforting. It wasn't that long ago we were taking care of our own deceased, but nowadays people are quick to pass off their loved ones to a funeral home. Most families aren't given the option and assume this is mandatory. Funeral homes will almost always prepare the deceased using an embalming and other methods to make them appear more alive. But isn't this process counterintuitive to the grieving process? Being around the deceased allows the bereaved to spend a longer period of time with their loved one's body, which can help them mourn or give opportunities to family members and friends to see the deceased one last time, before they are taken to be buried or cremated. The idea of keeping the deceased body at home might sound gross, but it's important to understand that decomposition takes a long time, and you can further slow this process by keeping your home cool and dry. To be around your loved ones and to see them decay naturally is an important part of the grieving process. Home funerals aren't just more intimate, they are more economical. A traditional funeral, complete with body preparation, service, flowers, cards, and many other hidden costs and fees, can cost upwards of $7,000 to $10,000. But you're able to take care of your loved one yourself, to wash and dress them, and to organize their viewing from home. The only cost remaining is entirely in the cremation or burial itself. However, it's important to understand that different rules apply given on what state you live in. In all states, it is legal to have your loved one's body at home after they die. States like Alabama, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Nebraska, New Jersey, and New York require funeral directors' involvement, from signing the death certificate to overseeing burial or cremation. If this is the route you decide to go for yourself or your loved ones, make sure you follow everything by the book. But just know that this may be an option available to you and your loved ones if one so chooses. This is the same as it was before. Okay, so we have a cremation of an unnamed person. Okay. Okay, before creming the gentleman, we need to prepare his body. He doesn't seem to have any valuables on him that would be damaged during cremation, so let's just worry about putting his identification tag into the coffin with him. All set to be cremated now. Alright. So she's going to have to wear different clothes when she goes out for the funeral thing. Using the cremator? Oh yeah. Yes. Oop. It's weird how they float around like that. Alright. Tag. And urn. Okay. And she is wearing long sleeves, so... I think she was wearing it before. That's the only person here. Okay. April 9th. 10 a.m. Grant, Contract Acquisition Hospital. We are thrilled to announce that Hillside Heritage subsidiary Rose and Daughters just signed a contract with Morning Valley Hospital, allowing us access to all the cadavers that come through their pediatric and maternity wards. We're excited for the opportunity to work with Morning Valley Hospital, which intakes lots of patients and receives lots in funding and donations. This will no doubt be a boon for Hillside Heritage, brightens the stained future. Home funeral for my wife, Charlotte. I see you were not able to convince the Dimka family to take a standard funeral. I had to contact them myself in order to not lose the sale. Please read the enclosed emails for a lesson on how to properly upsell potential customers. Oh, we're in trouble. I don't want to see that we've lost any customers because of your refusal to upsell. That's part of your job. Dear Mr. Grant, okay, we'll take the traditional funeral package. Thank you for concerning us in this hard time. Mr. Dimka, I understand your desire to keep your wife at home, but I assure you the best way to honor your wife is through a traditional funeral package. Instead, I promise your wife's funeral with us will be a beautiful, intimate gathering where all of her beloved friends and family can come together and say their goodbyes. The stern embalming will allow for everyone to view your wife, ensuring that everyone can see her one final time as she was, beautiful, peaceful, and courageous. Let us take care of the food with our prepared food service. We'll ensure you don't have a single thing to worry about on this day. You and your daughters are going through a hard time right now. Let us here at Rose and Daughters make this difficult time a little easier for you. Oh yeah, so this is the first one. Regarding last time we spoke, my daughters and I would still prefer to host a home funeral to ourselves and keep my wife here until she's ready to be buried. Just don't want to make sure she's taken care of. Her heart attack was so sudden, we don't know what to do. We just want to make sure she has a proper send-off. And this guy, and then he's angry at us because we didn't convince them to do it. Charlotte's official. I'm putting my 2 weeks notice. You know how unhappy I am working for Mega Corporation 101. My skills, especially my driving ones, are useful in other professions. I'm not worried about myself. But you I'm worried about. You're too good for this corporate scum. You actually care about people you work with and for. Don't let them defeat you, okay? I'll bring beers over next week. We can talk about it more freely. I kissed her. dating a special effects makeup artist, and she's like the coolest person I've ever met in my life. She totally loves Ava's possession and was equally freaked out by the possession scenes, but so utterly delighted at the idea of a support group of people who have been possessed. That was your best recommendation in a while, Charlie. You were slipping there. I was getting worried you had lost your taste. But yeah, her name is Lily, and she's super death positive and wasn't freaked out by my work. And also isn't too into it like the last dude I saw. Jason, Michael, God, I can't remember. I just really like spending time around here. I can talk about whatever I want. It's never a conversation stopper. She also totally gets what I mean when I say, like, working with death and spending so much time thinking about death actually makes me happier. Makes everything feel so much more worth it, you know? Memento mori, or whatever they taught us in that one poetry class we took. It just clicked. Feels good, fun and affirming, like dating should be. I'm thinking of taking her to Maple Meadows. She's super into roller coasters, and I think the idea of sharing cotton candy, or maybe not, I don't want to throw up on the rides, is sickeningly cute. Then maybe I'll kiss her on top of the Ferris wheel. Be super corny and cliche for once in my life. Anywho, enough about me now. I'm still kind of shocked from your last email. Do you think you're going to do it? You know you have my support 100% no matter what you decide. I think she's thinking about quitting too. Oh, she's going to start a business. Look. What is your business? Funeral service, business checklist, registered business, 11 permits. Oh, she's going to start her own thing. The applicant must file articles of incorporation, register a business name for a corporation under Business Names Act. This is a lot of other stuff but she's going to start her own business, okay. We call it a few different things, like flameless cremation, a bit of an oxymoron, but we'll let it slide. Perhaps more commonly, resomation. It's a technical name, though. It's actually alkaline hydrolysis. Whatever we want to call it. It's here and it's an environmentally friendly alternative to traditional cremation. But for the sake of this newsletter, let's call it water cremation. We all know that traditional cremation and burials take a huge toll on the environment, the high energy consumption that adds to the greenhouse gas, the effect being one of the chief amongst them, and water cremation is an alternative method available for eco-conscious amongst. How does it work? It's basically a water-based chemical process that uses really strong alkali in water heated up very high. It basically works like a sped-up version of natural decomposition. The excess water gets put through the same water treatment process as any sewage water at a factory, and alkaline hydrolysis uses significantly less energy than a traditional cremation process. Neat, huh? It's been around for a bit, and in some places became legal around the end of the first decade of the aughts. Not a bad alternative for those who don't want their death to have any greater impact on the environment than necessary. Okay, so yeah, she's thinking about starting her own business. Which is neat. Okay. I actually didn't fully read what was going on here, but I guess it's a traditional thing. The family's... Oh yeah, now I remember. Ask for an open casket funeral, traditional. Start by cleaning the body. Break rigor mortis. Insert eye caps, right. Then glue each eye shut. Put cotton balls into the mouth. Then moisturize the body. Cut into the neck. And then tube. Cannula. And more tube. Embalming machine. And then do this for a few minutes. It'd be interesting to learn how to do the green massage thing. Troke car. All done. Mike will take care of the makeup as well as dressing and putting her in the casket. Okay. Guess we'll go out here. I'm starving. Why do these things always make me so hungry? You're always hungry. It's so cold in here. I think they have the air conditioning on too high. Yeah, let's go for a walk later. It's really nice out. Would be good to stretch my legs. This feels so impersonal. She would have hated this. Yeah, but I know. They must have had their reasons. Oh hey, what did you think of the trailer I sent you? Oh yeah, I heard that show was so good. I saw the video of the one kid actor doing karaoke. Do you think we did the right thing? I feel bad not doing what Mom asked for. I know, honey, but what that chat guy said seems right. We don't want to dishonor her memory by letting her rot. Yeah, I just want Mom to know I loved her. Wish I hadn't yelled at her before. Shh, it's okay. She knew you loved her. Fights happen. Please don't be hard on yourself. Yeah, I'm going to miss her. Me too. August 30th. Oh! This is a different location. Look at all the bugs and stuff we got back there. Congrats. Charlie dear, I'm so proud of you. I knew there was something special in you when I hired you for Rose and Daughters. If there is anything I can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask. I'm always happy to help. Best wishes. P.S. I sorely miss you and Matthew's terrible sense of humor. Magnolia Forest. Funeral Home and Natural Burial Park. Magnolia Forest, named after the magnolia trees that surround the funeral home, specializes in at-home funerals and grave burials in our natural burial park. Our goal is to empower families and encourage them to have a closer relationship with death and the dying process. The death of a loved one can be confusing and sometimes traumatic, and a traumatic time, and we want you to feel fully involved in your loved one's death care decisions. Whether you're looking to care for your loved one from the comfort of your home, be present during the cremation, or bury them in our natural cemetery, Magnolia Forest is here to work with you and provide these simple but intimate and meaningful options. Our natural burial park allows the body to return to earth and recycle naturally. It is intended as an environmental sustainable alternative to existing funeral practices. Our park has room for bodies of all sizes and ages, as well as beloved pets. Families also have the option to bury their loved ones themselves if they so choose. Prices. We believe in being transparent about our prices and practices. Oh yeah, that Heritage Hills guy was not transparent about it. He just sort of made ballpark guesses. You didn't actually know the price of anything. We are happy to explain all of our prices, work within your budget, and hope to make you feel comfortable and confident in your decisions. Let us know if we can answer any of your questions. Home funeral, $1,000, all inclusive. Green burial and service. That much money for adults, all-inclusive. Direct cremation, that all-inclusive. Infants are buried at no charge. We can provide 3x3 plot and help opening and closing the grave. Alright, I'll never believe what new job I'm working now. Open this email to find out. Hey Charlie, when I first became a hearse driver, I was told that my most important job wasn't steering, it was sympathizing. I respectfully disagree, and thankfully I concentrate on my driving skills since now I'm working as a, wait for it, bus driver, school bus driver. Charlie, can you believe that? Pretty sure if I had said the most important part of my job wasn't steering, I'd be fired immediately. I didn't know how else to tell you. For some reason I was worried you'd think less of me, but I don't know why. You've never been the judgmental kind, and besides, corpses are easier to deal with than children. Screaming children, might I add. I actually love it. These kids can be pretty cute. But don't tell Amy that I told you that. She's always harping on me for not having any kids and being all cynical about them. Congrats on your new business, Charlie. I'm proud of you. I'll swing by your place one day and show you my new wheels. Maybe we can go grab a bite to eat. Be seeing ya. Matthew. Congratulations on your new business. Charlie, I'm so happy for you. I know it's been a rough year for you. Seriously, I think our wine intake saw a bazillion% increase. But you've stuck through it all like a champ. You deserve this, and finally, being your own boss is a great move for you. No more having to explain anything you don't want to. I'm trying to not be cheesy right now. Can't wait to be home next week for our visit and check out your new space. Always. P.S. Have you heard about these green burial pods? When I find the link in my 1 million open tabs, I'll shove it over to you. From Eileen Hansen. Oh, we aren't getting the monthly thing. Oh well. Dear Charlie, today's the day already, isn't it? I can't believe how quickly this has come up. Thank you for your understanding and for your work. You've made today easier already. See you at 1 p.m. See you soon. So are we, like, going out to help, Oh, wow. I assume it's much bigger than this. But they sort of plant trees over him and stuff. Oh, that's neat. This hurts, though I thought it'd be easier, but it's not. It hurts so much, but thank you for helping me give her the funeral she always wanted. Anyway, I think we're ready to get started now. That is really sweet, though. Pets. That was really good. I really like that game. It honestly, it has a very positive spin on these things that happen, and it's actually pretty comforting and very understanding about how people all sort of feel very, very different things about when it's time to grieve. This is a really sweet game, and I'm glad that I had a chance to play it. And I will see you on whatever it is I next play. Bye bye!